Good morning. Welcome back to Fine Art of Imperfection. I've decided to make some more cranberry jelly today. It's one of my favorite things to do. I've made two batches so far this year. I want to show y'all that color. Isn't that beautiful? But I want to do something a little bit different today, something I haven't done before. I want to make cranberry orange. So I'm going to see how it'll do if I cut this up into small pieces, kind of candy it a little bit, and then add it to the cranberry for cranberry orange. So we'll see if this works. We'll see if it works together. I think first I'm just going to cut off the ends. I'm sitting down in this chair so I can get everything in the picture. So I'm just going to flatten it off a little bit first. That way it won't roll around when I get off some of this good zest. I don't have a zester. Since I've moved here, I forgot to get one. You probably don't want too much of the white part, the pith. It can make it a little uh, bitter. So just try to get mostly the orange part. So what are some of the things that y'all like to do this time of year? Is there any special treats that y'all like to make every Thanksgiving or every November? For some reason, cranberries has always been like my favorite thing to look forward to for November. Started out just making, the recipe on the back of the cranberries for cranberry sauce. And I enjoyed making that so much. I started thinking this color is just so beautiful. I wonder if I could just make cranberry jelly, for toast or whatever. And yeah, oh my goodness, it's gorgeous. And cranberries, they have so much pectin in them that it's hard to mess up cranberry jelly. I mess up a lot of jellies, but cranberry jelly is usually not one of those. For some reason, I have trouble with apple jelly, like which apples have a lot of pectin. I think I'm doing something wrong. I guess a lot of times I do try it with apple juice. Maybe the apple juice doesn't have much of the pectin left. I probably need to start from fresh apples and go from there, and I bet it would do a lot better. But yeah, I would love to know some of the things that y'all like to do, some of the foods that y'all like to cook this time of year. And if y'all haven't tried making homemade cranberry sauce, it is literally the easiest thing you can make for Thanksgiving. And you'll get oohs and ahs because it looks like it would be something kind of tricky, but it's really not. And it's so good. It's so fun. And if you have little kids, what I always did with my kids, I'd be like, okay, y'all, it's time to make the cranberry sauce, since they were little. And they would run in there to watch and to help because as the pot of cranberries heats up, the cranberries start popping and they make this fun popping sound, and you could see them popping, just kind of busting open. But they'd be like, oh my goodness, the cranberries are popping. So that was a tradition that we've done since the kids were little. And a couple of days ago, when I started making the cranberry jelly, maybe that was yesterday, um, my daughter, she came in the kitchen and she was like, she didn't even know what I was making, but she was like, oh, I smell cranberries. Is that cranberries? Like, she just loves the cranberries as well. So, are y'all pretty ready for Christmas? I don't know. I don't think that I am. Um, haven't really done a whole lot of shopping yet, but let's see. So, I peeled the oranges. This knife is kind of dull too. I haven't brought my knife sharpener over here. Oh, I'll probably want to get out the seeds. If you see seeds, just go ahead and pull those out. So we'll just kind of tear this up a bit, make a mess. Just enjoy yourself, get messy. if you have your food processor, which I don't have it here, it's at my other place. Um, if you have a food processor, you could just cut off the zest part, peel off the white pithy part, and then put this in the food processor along with the zest. Probably just pulse it several times. You don't want the zest to get too small, but you know, small pieces would probably be pretty nice. So I think I'm just going to put the orange bits into the pot, set this stuff aside over here in the sink. Since I don't have a zester, I guess I'll cut this up pretty fine, as fine as I can. No big deal. If you like orange, then this should work out pretty good for you. For now, I'll just go ahead and cut up part of this to show you, just little bits like that, and put those in here. And I'm going to pause this for a minute and get this finished and finished cutting up, and I'll be right back. Okay, next I brought the pot of orange and zest over to the stove. This was one large, just regular orange. And I'm going to add, I think, about a cup of sugar to this, and quarter cup of water. Let's turn this about medium. Get this going. Maybe medium high at first, I think. You want to dissolve that sugar in there. Break up some of those orange bits, like the orange slices, if they didn't break up so well before. I did bring my trusty potato masher. You can kind of get in there and get those oranges all mashed up pretty good. Okay, once this gets to bubbling, I did turn it up a little bit. Once it gets to bubbling pretty good, once it gets to simmering, we'll just go ahead and turn it down and simmer it for, I would say, probably about 10 minutes, just to start getting the orange peel softened and cooked a little bit. There it goes. Now it's starting to really bubble. I don't know if y'all can see that, but okay, there it goes. So now I'm going to turn it down, set my timer. Oop, a little bit much. We'll do about 11. So I did add the sugar and a little bit of water. And so yeah, we'll let that simmer down for about 10 minutes. Okay, I'm going to remove the orange zest from the heat. It smells so good, by the way. I love it. Now I'm going to switch to a bigger pot, and we'll start on the cranberries. You're going to need 2 bags of the Ocean Spray cranberries, or whatever brand you have. I've only seen this, so I don't know why I said the brand. I think I'm just awkward that way. Sorry if that's really loud. I'll try to pour these a little bit quieter. Okay, so let's pour those in. Normally you would add 5 cups of water to 2 bags of cranberries for the jelly, but since I have the orange and it still has some liquid in it. I'm gonna go with, let's see, I think I'm doing 3.5. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with 3.5 and pray that this works. So y'all be praying for me. I do have a tendency to try to guesstimate how to do some of these, and they don't always turn out, my jellies. Preserves, jams, things like that, those are so easy, but it's easy for me to mess up jelly. Usually not cranberry, so maybe. Okay, so we'll turn this on high, get these going. We're gonna get this to boiling, and once it really starts boiling, go ahead and turn it down to where it's just a simmer, and we'll cook that for about 15 minutes and then remove it from the heat. Okay, it's just starting to bubble, the liquid, and I'm hoping y'all will be able to see how beautiful those are and maybe start hearing some popping. Let's see. I don't know if that's the mic is picking up on the popping. Hopefully. Yeah, they're popping. Okay, I hope that y'all were able to hear that. I love it. It's exciting. So we'll bring that completely to a boil, and then we'll turn it down, let it simmer uncovered for about 15 minutes. Occasionally just take like a masher once it's boiling and just start kind of breaking up the cranberries that don't pop. They won't all pop. Okay, I'm going to turn that down. Just check on it occasionally and set the timer for 15 minutes. Okay, now that the cranberries are done boiling, getting all the juices out of the berries, we're going to put them into the strainer bag to separate the solids from the juice. I normally have one of my kids here to help me, so I think I'm going to ladle some first. And then maybe it'll be easier to pour the rest. I did find some clips to help hold the bag onto there. You might find that helpful. I bought this strainer bag on Etsy. You could easily make one if you're handy with sewing. They come in handy for a lot of things. My daughter, she likes oat milk, so sometimes I'll use it to make her some oat milk. Let's see. I think that'll be good. Let me see if I can pour the rest. Let me scoot this pot out a little bit. These cabinets kind of get in the way here. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, now this is extremely hot, so you're going to have to be careful. What I do is I find a handy place to hang it so that the liquids can drip. So I will hang it on my cabinet knob. Just be careful that the bag stays over the pot. You don't want this running all over your cabinet there, your countertop. So let this drain for at least until it's cool enough to the touch. And then when it's cool enough to the touch, we can kind of squeeze out the rest of the juice. All right, so it's been a little while. The cranberries had cooled off, and so I squeezed the rest of the juice out of it, and I discarded the solids. You can use those. You can put them in your compost, or if you want to, you can add them into some breads like cranberry bread or something. I did save some because I plan to use some of it. So this is the juice. It's quite pretty. We're going to be putting these into half pint jars, the little 8 ounce, yeah, the 8 ounce size. And so I have over here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 little half pint jars. I'm sorry, seven half pint jars, sanitizing here in the hot water, the boiling water, and also it's getting hot so that whenever it's time to do the water bath, they'll be ready. And right here I have the lids in a smaller container so I can get those out easier, and they're boiling as well so that they get sanitized. So I'm going to turn the cranberry juice not on high yet, like medium high, and we will go ahead and add the orange from earlier. It already made like a really nice marmalade, didn't it? So orange marmalade would be really easy to make. We'll add that to the cranberries. Hoping this works. Don't see why it shouldn't. Smells so good. Get all that goodness out of there. Okay, set this aside. Now once, we'll go ahead and turn this up. Give it a little stir. Once the liquid starts having a really good steam coming off of it, you can go ahead and add in your pectin. I'm going to use 1 package of pectin. If you have pectin in bulk, it should be about 3 or 4 tablespoons. Let me grab my whisk. I think that might be better for this. 1 second. Want to make sure to break up all those orange chunks and get those good and evenly distributed. Seems like I've had more success using the bulk pectin for some reason than these little packets. So hopefully I'm not making a mistake by using this, but we shall see. Okay, so the lids are done boiling. I'm going to turn those off. The jars are starting to boil, so I'm going to turn that down. Just keep them hot, but they don't have to keep boiling while we're doing this. Okay, so this is really starting to steam already. Let me let it go a little bit more. I think I'll wait until I see a little bit of the bubbles starting to come up. I hope y'all been having a good day. Have y'all been doing anything festive or anything fun? We had 2 inches of rain I guess it was day before yesterday. Almost 2.5 inches, but now it's beautiful. It's sunny and crystal blue sky. Oh, and I had mentioned on an earlier video that me and my daughter, we planted some cabbages and lettuces, and I wasn't sure if that they were gonna grow, but they're sprouting. I'm so excited. They're sprouting. I got little sprout babies. Okay, this is starting to go, so I'm gonna dump this in slowly and stir. Just kind of gradually add it in as you stir. Don't want it to clump up or anything. You just want it to get evenly distributed. And once this starts to have like a rolling boil is like where it keeps boiling no matter how much you stir it, then we'll pour in all of the sugar at once. It's almost there. Looks like we have everything got ready. Okay, here we go. It's starting to boil. Okay, and it's not stopping. So I'm going to go ahead and pour this 4 cups of sugar into our fruit and juices. Make sure it's all combined. Oh, some didn't get out of there. Get out of there. I like to go ahead and keep stirring it until it comes to a rolling boil again. Oh, there's one more lid. So once this comes to a rolling boil that won't stop as you stir it, go ahead and set your timer for 2 minutes. And then you can turn it down to probably, like medium low, just so long as the boil keeps rolling. If it starts to die back too much, just go ahead and put it up a little bit. You have to kind of watch it because it could over boil if you're not careful. Kind of foams up a little bit. I think it's almost there. It's starting to bubble up again. Ooh, it's so beautiful. Okay. It's really starting to go now. Okay, so I'm going to set my timer for 2 minutes. Turn this down. I usually mainly keep stirring. Not sure it's necessary, but I don't want it to accidentally burn on the bottom or anything. So when this is done, we'll remove it from the heat, and then we can start ladling it into the jars. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, that fogged up my glasses. But yeah, the orange with the cranberry, that is amazing. I'm really excited. Nice. Okay. Yeah, this is going really well. Okay, so it has been 2 minutes. I can turn this off for now. Put this back here, off of the heat. Let's go ahead and transfer this pot of hot jars to the front so we can reach that better. Turn that off. And for the jars, go ahead and set that like medium high for now. We can scoot this back here, the lids. Get your jam where you can reach it. And I'll just go ahead and show you what I normally do. So I have my little handy dandy jar lifter so you don't burn yourself. Pull the jar out, get the excess water. Little jar funnel right there. Take a good scoop of that. Just start ladling it in. Go up just past the rim, just a little bit. You don't want to overfill these. Set that aside. Don't forget to wipe the rims. Just grab one of these. Clean, sterilized lid. And the ring. And that's all there is to it. Beautiful. Put that in there. So I'm going to go ahead and do all of these and then I'll check back in with you. Okay, so I've filled all of them, except there's not quite enough left to do a full half pint. So I grabbed one of these little baby, I guess they're quarter pints, like 4 ounces, I think. I figured that would be probably just right to put the rest of it in. So we'll go ahead and do that one here. Oh my goodness. So I did forget to mention that you can skim off some of the foam before you start ladling into your jars. You don't have to. It's just personal choice. But if you do, it's a good chance to kind of get a taste of what it's going to be like. And so I had tasted that foam and oh my gosh, this is going to be amazing. Cannot wait. Yeah. It's just enough for this cute little one. It'll be a nice little gift for a neighbor or something. So we'll go ahead and cap that off. I did sterilize this little jar. Put that little jelly baby in there. And we'll go ahead and crank this up a little bit to almost like to about high. Get it boiling pretty good. And then we'll put a lid on it so it can get better pressure. So once this really starts boiling in there, just be careful to go ahead and turn it down, because if you don't, it's just going to start spewing out water everywhere. So I kind of keep an eye on it until it's really going. So once you have a good boil at a lower temperature, you can go ahead and set your timer for 15 minutes. Should do it. So I'm going to put the lid on. Go ahead and turn this down. Set my timer. And I'll see you after they're done. All right, so the timer just went off. I can turn the pot off. You don't have to leave these in to decompress, like depressurize like you do in a pressure canner. I like to go ahead and get these out. Set them on a towel. I'm just tilting them slightly to get some of the water off of the top. You don't have to. It's just a habit. You should start to hear the jars sealing pretty soon. Hopefully we'll get to hear that while I'm filming. Okay. I do generally like to wipe off the lids a little bit so they don't have water stains on them after they dry. And that's all there is to it. If you're new to this and you start hearing loud popping, like a popping noise, it's not real loud, but anyway, it's a popping noise, metallic sounding. It's the jars vacuums, creating a vacuum and sealing. So, all right, that's all there is to it. Let me know if y'all decide to give this a try, and I hope y'all are having a very blessed day. And God bless you, and I will talk to y'all very soon. See you next time. Bye.